It's bedtime. Welcome to the world of frosty tales and more, where dreams sparkle and gentle adventures begin. Tonight's bedtime story is about the Rain Fairy Princess, a gentle, magical fairy who once stopped the rain. So snuggle in, close your eyes, and let the story of the Rain Fairy Princess begin. Once upon a time, in the most wonderful village you could ever imagine, there lived the happiest people in the whole wide world. Every morning, children would skip and hop down the cobblestone streets, playing hopscotch and tag. 1, 2, 3. They would count, laughing as butterflies with rainbow wings danced around their heads. The grown-ups tended their magical gardens, where sunflowers grew as tall as houses, and roses smelled like candy. But little did they know, something very important was about to change their happy little world forever. In the green fields outside the village, Farmer Joe scratched his grey beard and looked very, very worried. "Oh my goodness, Mary," he called to his friend. "Look at our poor corn. It's getting all droopy and sad." Farmer Mary put her hands on her hips and sighed. "We haven't seen a single raindrop for 2 whole weeks, Joe. Our tomatoes are thirsty and our wheat is turning brown." The 2 farmers looked up at the bright blue sky. Not a cloud in sight. But they had no idea that someone very special was listening to everything they said. Meanwhile, in the busy village square, something not so nice was happening. Mrs. Baker, covered in flour from head to toe, waved her rolling pin in the air. "Oh, I just hate rainy days," she complained loudly. "They ruin our picnics and make everything all muddy and yucky." Mr. Shopkeeper nodded his head up and down like a bobbing bird. Yes, yes. Rain is terrible. It makes everyone grumpy." All around the beautiful fountain, the villagers agreed. But high, high up in the clouds above, tiny magical sparkles began to fall. Someone was listening, and someone was getting very, very sad. Far above the village, floating on the softest, fluffiest clouds you've ever seen, stood the most magnificent castle in all the world. It was made entirely of silver mist and sparkly white clouds, with windows that shined like rainbows. This magical place belonged to the Rain Fairy Princess, the kindest fairy in all the sky. You could see her on the balcony, her beautiful wings sparkling like water droplets frozen in time, shimmering blue and silver in the sunlight. Her throne was carved from real crystallized raindrops that twinkled like diamonds, and her castle walls danced with colors of every rainbow. It was the most beautiful home imaginable, but soon it would become the loneliest place in the universe. Inside her magnificent castle, the Rain Fairy Princess sat on her sparkling throne, looking sadder than any fairy had ever looked before. Her beautiful dress, which usually shimmered like ocean waves, seemed dull and grey. Even her magnificent wings, which should have sparkled like frozen water droplets, drooped sadly behind her, looking dim and lifeless. Tears rolled down her rosy cheeks, but these weren't ordinary tears. They were made of pure silver and sparkled as they fell. She held her magical listening shell close to her ear, and every mean word the villagers said made her heart break a little more. They don't want my rain," she whispered to herself. "Maybe I should just stop." With a wave of her silver wand that glittered like starlight, the Rain Fairy made a very big decision. Her beautiful wings spread wide with dramatic flair, water droplets dancing along their edges like tiny diamonds. "If they don't want my rain, then they won't get any," she declared. She began gathering all her magical raindrops and storing them in beautiful crystal jars that floated around her like glowing bubbles. Slam! She locked her magic watering can behind a heavy wooden door. Swoosh! She pulled thick purple curtains across all her rainbow windows. The castle grew darker and darker, and outside, the clouds began to disappear one by one. Down in the village, strange things started happening very quickly. The village pond, which was usually full of crystal clear water, began to shrink smaller and smaller. Poor little fishies swam in tiny circles, looking confused and worried. Glub, glub, where did all our water go? They seemed to say. The 3 village ducks waddled around the muddy edges, tilting their yellow heads this way and that. Quack, quack, this isn't right. Even the beautiful fountain in the town square could only make tiny little drops instead of its usual happy splash. Something was definitely very, very wrong. But there was one little girl in the village who was much more observant than all the grown-ups. Her name was Lily, and she had the most beautiful curly red hair with freckles sprinkled across her nose like tiny golden stars. While everyone else was busy complaining, Lily crouched down next to her grandmother's garden and gently touched a wilting daisy. "Poor little flower," she whispered softly. "You look so thirsty." She looked up at the big oak tree and noticed its leaves were turning yellow much too early. Lily's bright green eyes grew wide with worry. "Something's not right here," she said to herself. That evening, Lily climbed onto her grandmother's lap as they sat together on the creaky wooden porch. Grandmother had the most beautiful silver hair braided with tiny golden bells that tinkled softly when she moved. "Grandmother," Lily asked, "why do people always complain about rain?" Her grandmother's eyes twinkled like stars as she smiled. "Oh, my dear little butterfly," she said, her voice as sweet as honey. "Rain and sunshine are like the very best of friends. They dance together to help everything grow. Without rain, the earth gets as thirsty as you do on hot summer days." Lily listened carefully, storing every wise word in her heart. That night, Lily stood at her bedroom window, looking out at the starry sky with determination sparkling in her eyes. The moon cast silver light across her small face as she made the biggest decision of her whole 7-year-old life. "I'm going to find out why the rain stopped coming, and I'm going to fix it," she declared to her reflection. She carefully packed her little backpack with crackers, a shiny red apple, and most importantly, her favorite stuffed bunny with the floppy ears and tiny red bow. "Don't worry, Mr. Hobbs," she whispered to her bunny. "We're going on an adventure." And with that, brave little Lily began planning the most important journey of her life. Early the next morning, when the mist was still dancing between the trees, Lily stepped into the most magical forest in the world. The path was made of smooth, glowing stones that felt warm under her feet, and mushrooms in every shade of purple and blue lit up like tiny lanterns as she walked by. Golden fireflies, no bigger than sequins, danced around her head, leaving trails of sparkles in the air. "Oh my!" Lily gasped in wonder. Friendly squirrels with bushy tails chittered warnings from the branches above. "Stay on the path, little one, stay on the path." But Lily felt brave with Mr. Hobbs tucked safely in her backpack. In a clearing filled with the warmest, most golden sunshine, Lily met her first fairy friend. The sun fairy appeared like a burst of light, her hair shining like actual sunbeams, and her magnificent golden wings glowing like flame petals. Her dress sparkled like thousands of tiny diamonds. "Hello, little brave one," the sun fairy said with a voice like tinkling wind chimes. "I bring warmth and light to help everything grow." She twirled gracefully, her wings creating sparkles of golden dust, and wherever her feet touched, flowers bloomed instantly. Lily clapped her hands in delight. "You're so beautiful," she exclaimed, but the sun fairy's bright smile faded just a little. "Thank you, dear child, but I cannot help plants grow all by myself. I need my friend, the rain fairy, but she hasn't visited me in many days." The sun fairy adjusted her crown made of tiny spinning suns, each one glowing like a miniature star. Her golden wings fluttered with worry, not shining as brightly as before. Usually, my dear rain fairy friend and I work together every single day, she explained to Lily, who listened with wide, understanding eyes. I shine down to warm the earth nice and cozy, and she sends gentle rain to give everything a drink. We're the perfect team. She reached into her pocket of light and pulled out a magical golden bottle that contained a swirling, captured sunbeam. Here, take this to light your way, brave little girl. You might need it to find my missing friend. Lily accepted the gift with both hands, feeling its warm, happy energy. Lily skipped along the most wonderful path she'd ever seen. Each stepping stone was shaped like a different leaf. Some looked like oak leaves, others like maple leaves, and some like delicate fern fronds. Every stone was painted in bright, cheerful colors: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. When she came to a babbling brook, there was the cutest bridge made entirely of woven grass and tiny flowers. "Hello, little fishies," she called to the rainbow trout swimming below. Birds sang her name from the trees. "Lily! Lily! Go, go, go!" And chipmunks wearing tiny acorn hats waved their paws and cheered, "You can do it, Lily!" With every step, she felt braver and more determined. On top of a hill where the grass swayed like ocean waves, Lily discovered the wind fairy dancing in the most graceful circles. Her silver dress never stopped moving, flowing and billowing like she was made of air itself. Her amazing wings looked like they were made of swirling mist and air currents, never holding the same shape twice. Her long hair streamed behind her, like ribbons in a gentle breeze. "Whoosh! Hello, little traveler," the wind fairy called, in a voice that sounded like leaves rustling. She spun and twirled, and wherever she danced, the grass bent and swayed in beautiful patterns. "I carry clouds across the sky," she explained, her arms moving like she was conducting an invisible orchestra. Lily's hair and dress danced in the magical breeze. "Have you seen the rain fairy?" Lily asked hopefully. The wind fairy stopped dancing and looked very worried, her usually flowing hair now whipping about in anxious gusts. Her misty wings beat frantically, creating little whirlwinds around her. "Oh, dear little one," she said, twisting her hands together. "I have been pushing clouds everywhere, searching and searching for my rain fairy friend. But all the clouds I carry are completely empty, no rain inside them at all." She reached into her swirling dress and pulled out the most beautiful feather Lily had ever seen. It shimmered with all the colors of the rainbow and seemed to float by itself. "Take this magic feather, brave child. If you need to fly, it will help carry you on the wind." Lily tucked the precious feather carefully into her backpack next to Mr. Hops. In a misty valley that looked like a bowl filled with the softest white cotton, Lily found the cloud fairy working very, very hard. The fairy's fluffy white hair and dress made her look almost like a cloud herself, and her wings looked like they were made of the softest cotton that glowed with gentle light. She was busy squeezing handfuls of cloud cotton between her fingers, trying desperately to make raindrops. "Oh, bother," the cloud fairy sighed. "This isn't working at all." When she saw Lily approaching, she smiled sadly. "Hello, little one. I'm trying to make rain, but I just can't do it without my rain fairy friend." The cloud fairy showed Lily pieces of fluffy cloud material that looked exactly like cotton candy but glowed with soft, magical light. Her cotton-like wings fluttered gently as little puffs of harmless mist drifted from their tips. "You see, dear child," she explained, holding up the glowing cloud fluff. "I can make all the most beautiful clouds in the world. I can shape them into bunnies and dragons and sailing ships." As she spoke, the cloud pieces magically formed into those shapes, floating gently around them. But only the Rain Fairy Princess can fill my clouds with real, life-giving rain. She offered Lily a small, personal cloud that glowed like a soft white cushion. Here, sit on this for your journey. But please, if you find our Rain Fairy friend, tell her how much we miss working together. Following the directions all three fairies had given her, Lily came to the scariest part of her journey yet. Before her stretched a deep, deep ravine with a rickety rope bridge swaying back and forth in the breeze. The wooden boards looked old, and some were missing completely. Far, far below, a river rushed and tumbled over smooth, colourful stones that looked like giant marbles. Lily's knees shook a little as she looked down. "Oh my," she whispered, clutching Mr. Hobbs tightly. "This looks really scary." But then she remembered all the wilting flowers back home. Taking a deep breath, she stepped onto the first wooden board. "I can do this, one step at a time." On the other side of the scary bridge, Lily faced another challenge that looked almost impossible. She had to crawl through a tunnel made entirely of rose bushes, but these weren't ordinary roses. Their thorns sparkled like the most beautiful jewels, emeralds, rubies, sapphires, and diamonds. The roses themselves bloomed in colours that changed like magic, rainbow petals that shifted from red to blue to yellow to purple. "Okay, Mr. Hobbs," Lily whispered to her bunny, "we need to be very, very careful." She got down on her hands and knees and began crawling slowly. Above her, friendly robins sang encouraging songs. "You can do it! You're almost there! Don't give up, brave Lily!" Their music gave her courage to keep going. At the very end of her long journey, Lily discovered something that took her breath away. Before her hung a curtain made of pure rainbow mist that flowed like water but shimmered like the finest silk in all the world. It contained every colour imaginable, swirling and dancing in the most beautiful patterns. But from behind this magical curtain came the sound of gentle crying, Lily's heart filled with kindness and concern. She had learned from her grandmother that when someone is sad, the very best thing to do is offer help with a gentle voice. "Hello," she called sweetly. "Is someone sad behind there? My name is Lily, and I'd really like to help if I can." Slowly, like magic theatre curtains opening for the most important show ever, the rainbow mist parted to reveal the saddest sight Lily had ever seen. There sat the Rain Fairy Princess on a spotted mushroom, looking nothing like a princess should look. Her beautiful blue dress, which should have sparkled like ocean waves, was now pale and faded. Her magnificent wings, which should have been covered in sparkling water droplets, drooped sadly behind her, dull and lifeless, with some of the pretty droplets fallen away. Her lovely face was streaked with silver tears that fell like tiny stars. All around her, water lilies floated in a pond that was almost completely dry, their petals drooping sadly. "Oh, you poor, sweet fairy," Lily exclaimed, her kind heart immediately going out to this magical being who looked so terribly, terribly sad. "What's wrong? Why are you crying?" The Rain Fairy looked up with eyes as blue as the deepest ocean, filled with more sadness than Lily had ever seen. Her wings looked even worse now, cracked and broken, with empty spaces where the beautiful water droplets used to be. "Everyone in your village," the fairy said with a voice like gentle rainfall, "hates my rain. They say it ruins their picnics and makes everything muddy and awful." As she spoke, her silver tears fell to the ground, and wherever they landed, tiny forget-me-nots and baby roses instantly bloomed. I thought if I stopped bringing rain, everyone would be much happier. But now I feel so lonely and useless. Maybe they're right. Maybe my rain really is terrible." Each word broke Lily's heart a little more. Lily sat down right next to the sad Rain Fairy and spoke with the wisdom her grandmother had taught her. "Oh, but you're so very wrong, beautiful rain fairy," she said gently. "Let me tell you a secret. Your rain is the most wonderful, most important magic in the whole world." As Lily spoke, with her hands moving expressively, magical pictures began appearing in the air around them. Pictures of flowers growing tall and strong, ducks splashing happily in ponds, and farmers dancing with joy as their crops grew green and healthy. "Look, see how happy everything is when it gets to drink your magical rain." The rain fairy's eyes grew wider and wider with amazement. Lily continued her explanation with all the love and wisdom in her 7-year-old heart. "My grandmother taught me that rain and sunshine are the very best friends in the universe. They work together like dance partners." Above them, more magical pictures appeared. The sun warming tiny seedlings, rain helping them grow into beautiful flowers, sunshine drying clothes on the line, and rain filling rivers where fish could swim and play. Without sunshine, plants can't grow strong, but without rain they get thirsty and sad, just like people do. The rain fairy sat up straighter, her dress beginning to shimmer with its old magic. And look, her wings were starting to sparkle again too. You mean my rain is actually important?" The rain fairy jumped up from her mushroom seat so quickly that sparkles flew everywhere. Her dress suddenly blazed with brilliant blue light, shimmering like the most beautiful ocean waves you've ever seen, and her wings, oh, her wings, they transformed completely. Now they sparkled with thousands of perfect water droplets, like the most beautiful diamonds, glowing bright blue and silver. "Oh my goodness gracious!" she exclaimed, her eyes now bright with understanding and joy instead of sadness. "I never explained to the villagers how important rain is. I just felt hurt and hid away like a silly fairy." She spun around and around, her hair flowing like water, her wings creating magical mist that made flowers bloom instantly. Thank you, dear brave Lily. You've helped me understand that I shouldn't hide my gifts. I should help everyone learn why rain is wonderful." With a wave of her now brilliant silver wand, the rain fairy made her magnificent cloud castle appear in all its sparkling glory. Her wings spread wide, now glistening with thousands of dancing water droplets that caught the light like prisms. "Come, dear Lily, let me show you my most precious treasures," she said with a smile as bright as a rainbow. She opened an enormous chest that glowed like captured starlight, revealing hundreds and hundreds of raindrops stored in crystal bottles. Each bottle contained swirling, luminous water that danced like liquid light. "Every single raindrop is special," the rain fairy explained lovingly. "This one helps flowers bloom, this one fills ponds for fishies, and this one waters vegetable gardens so families have food to eat." Lily watched in complete amazement as the fairy lovingly touched each bottle. "Are you ready to help me bring the rain back home?" Together, Lily and the rain fairy rode through the sky on the fluffiest, most comfortable cloud Lily could ever imagine. It felt like sitting on the softest pillow in the world. The rain fairy held her silver wand high, her magnificent wings beating gently and creating perfect raindrops with each flutter. Rainbow mists swirled from her wingtips like magical trails across the sky. "Not too heavy, not too light," she sang sweetly, "but just exactly right." Each raindrop sparkled with rainbow colors as it fell gently toward the thirsty village below. Lily's hair streamed behind her like a red ribbon as they flew, her face glowing with joy and pride. "Look," she pointed excitedly. "I can see my village, and everyone's coming outside." The most amazing transformation happened the moment the first magical raindrops touched the village. Instead of running inside and complaining, every single villager rushed outside with their arms stretched wide, laughing and dancing. "Misses." Baker threw her rolling pin in the air and caught it. spinning around and around. "This rain feels like magic," she laughed. Mr. Shopkeeper jumped up and down, splashing in puddles like a little child. "It's wonderful! It's beautiful!" Children ran through the gentle shower, giggling as flowers bloomed instantly all around them. The fountain gurgled back to life with the happiest splash, and ducks quacked with joy as their pond refilled with crystal clear water. Everyone had learned to love the rain. From that magical day forward, the village became the most beautiful place in the entire world. The villagers learned to love both sunny days and rainy days, understanding that each was a special gift from their fairy friends. They built covered pavilions, where families could have picnics even in the rain, watching their gardens grow greener and more beautiful with every drop. Lily became the village's beloved little hero, tending a special fairy garden where all 4 fairy friends visited, regularly the sun fairy with her golden flame petal wings, the wind fairy with her misty air current wings, the cloud fairy with her cotton soft wings, and the rain fairy with her sparkling water droplet wings, all fluttering together in perfect harmony. The gardens grew vegetables bigger than basketballs and flowers more colourful than rainbows. And every evening, as children fell asleep, they could hear the gentle sound of rain and feel grateful for all of nature's wonderful gifts. The end. Sleep tight, little ones.